What is up, YouTube? Jared Red Racer video. Hey, I hope this video finds you guys well. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So for those of you who watch the video today, happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. For those of you that watch it tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving. And for those of you who watch it after that, you guys were a couple of days late, but I hope you guys had a good holiday. So today's video, guys, we're gonna jump right into it. Today's video comes by way of a friend of mine who actually just called me. For those of you who do not know, and most of you probably do not, I've done a lot of different stuff in the car industry in my life. And one of the things that I did was sales and finance, as well as service, and I've run body shops and a lot of other stuff. But a good friend of mine called and said, hey, we're gonna be getting ready to buy this car, and this is what we're doing. Wanted to ask if it was a good deal. And then they asked me about the stuff that maybe they should think about doing in finance, because most of your dealerships, when they bring out a paper, a lot of times, if you don't know, when they show you your payment, they usually build in what they call leg. They usually build some leg into the payment, meaning that they usually like pre-sell you warranties and some of the coverages and some of the things that the guys in the finance office are going to offer you. And it kind of just helps the finance guy, helps him hit his penetrations, because most of those guys are obviously paid on commission. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be telling you guys this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. A lot of those guys, they've got to like hit those penetrations. They've got to sell those items or they basically don't keep their jobs. So that job's a little more high pressure, and you kind of got to get those things done. So to help those guys, a lot of times they'll bring you out a payment that already has leg included in the payment. So if some customers do the math beforehand, they know exactly what their payment should be, and they're very good about that. Most people though don't, and most people leave it up to the dealer. And so a lot of times, guys, when you get a payment, like I said, it's got all that stuff in it. So anyways, he asked me, hey, here's my payment. Here's what I'm paying for the car. Do you think the price is fair? Does that payment sound right? And kind of was just asking me all the questions that he, would probably have asked his sales guy if he, I guess, had a little more trust for his sales guy. A whole nother video coming about the sales process, guys, because I want to bring a whole video out about when you're buying a car, what you should do. But today's video is kind of just going to be about the things they're going to try to sell you in finance. So this is after you've bought your car, or after you've agreed to buy the car, and then you're going in to sign all the paperwork. The guy in finance is a guy a lot of people are afraid of. They go in there kind of with their guard up, and having been a finance manager, I experienced that a lot, where people just kind of, you could tell that they were very apprehensive about talking to you, about dealing with you. And a lot of times it's just, they're going to say no, 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 no. So without just being the guy that tells you to go say no to everything, I actually wanted to approach it from a little bit different angle. Because guys, I do believe in a lot of the products they do sell in finance. I also believe that a lot of stuff they sell in finance is kind of bogus. So it kind of applies differently to everybody. But here's what I will say, okay? Here's a few of the things they're going to try to offer you. One, gap insurance. Most of you guys have heard about gap insurance. If you don't know what gap insurance is, it's basically where, like, if you traded in a car that you were upside down in, or if you just financed like the whole amount of the car, didn't put any money down, and you're going to finance the whole amount of the car plus all the sales tax. If something happened to that car, or you were to total that car, or wreck the car or whatever, go to sell the car, just anything like that, actually not sell the car, but if you were to total the car and the insurance company is only going to pay you what it costs to replace the car. They're not going to pay your sales tax. They're not going to pay the deficiency that you now have in the car because you drove the car off the lot. So gap insurance is for people that don't put a bunch of money down. So his question was, hey, should I buy the gap insurance? In his situation, my answer was no. He was putting like $4,000 down. It was a Honda, and he's probably not going to be upside down because Hondas hold their value really well. Like I said, he had some money down, and he wasn't trading a car in where he was deficient. So gap insurance though, guys, a lot of people maybe shake their head at it and say you don't need it. I disagree. If you're trading something in you're upside down in, you should buy gap insurance. It usually only changes the payment a little bit. Gap insurance is usually only, and I don't want to give away all the dealership secrets and make all my dealer friends mad, but anywhere from like $300 to $700 depending on how the dealership does business. So that gives you an idea of what it would cost you. So if you look at that on a monthly basis, it's very small. Not very small, but not very big, and it could potentially save you thousands if something happened, if you were to total the car, if the car was stolen or anything like that. So that's what gap insurance is. Those are the people I think need it. If you're deficient, you're trading something in, or you're putting no money down, I think gap insurance is almost a must, okay? One of the other things guys are going to try to sell you is like that window etch stuff or theft registry. I'm going to say no. I think that stuff's bogus, honestly. Like, they etch the window. It doesn't really help with anything else. The cool thing it does, a lot of them actually have a little added protection in it where they'll actually pay, it's almost like a gap insurance, where they'll actually pay you a little bit of money at the end in the event that something happens or the car's totaled or something like that happens. So if it's one of those policies and it'll actually help you at the end, give you some cash at the end, I've seen them pay up as much as like $2,500 at the end, then maybe that theft protection or theft registry or etch, window etch they call it, maybe that's worth it. But for me, I'm gonna probably lean towards no most of the time on that. A lot of your insurance companies cover a lot of the stuff that they would cover anyway. Next thing, guys, and this kind of goes into my service days as well as my sales days. But the other thing, and in one of the dealerships I worked at, they had called it titanium. And what the titanium is basically a coverage where if you get rock chips, it's covered. If you get any door dings, they're covered. And that door dings is like, it's got to be smaller than like the size of a tennis ball or a grapefruit, or, you know, some of them have different coverages. But any paintless dent repair, if you were to get a door ding or just have a small dent put in the car, one of your kids bounces their head off the car or something, you're going to go and get that paid for, and that's going to be covered. So that's something that I think would be a worthwhile thing to do. The dealership I worked for, that coverage actually paid for lost keys as well. So for those of you that have smart keys like me, this key right here is a smart key. There is no key. It's super, you know, it's intelligent. If I walk up, the car knows I'm there. Those keys suck. I've seen those keys at dealerships be as much as like $400. A lot of times they're kind of coming down in price because they're becoming more common. Sometimes they're like $150 or something like that. But if one of those keys is $400 or $500, your titanium coverage in most cases is like, again, depending on the dealership you're working with and the price they charge, that titanium coverage could be anywhere from like $250, $300 all the way up to like $500, $600. In my opinion, that's a coverage that I would purchase, especially if you have a smart key. I worked in dealerships in the service departments for, I want to say I was in a service department for about 3 to 4 years, and in another dealership service department before that. So I've probably spent 4 years, almost 5 years in dealership service departments. Seen a lot of people with broken windshields because they had a chip they didn't get fixed. I've seen a lot of people with door dings that they just don't want to go spend, you know, $60, $70, $80, $100, $150 sometimes. And I've seen a lot of people lose keys and come pay for new keys. And when you tell them their key is going to be $150 or $380, they about flip. They get super pissed about the price of the key. So I'm going to say that coverage is worth it, in my opinion. So rock chips, door dings, keys. If any of those things happen, it's covered. To me, that's a no-brainer. I'm not saying you don't have a brain if you don't do it, but I think that's a worthwhile coverage. That's something I think you guys should definitely do. So let me think about this here. We got Gap, I covered that. We got titanium, I covered that. We got the window etch, we covered that, which I don't like. And then, last thing, the warranties, guys. Everybody knows they're going to try to sell you a warranty, right? And in most cases, like I said, at a lot of dealerships, that's going to be built into the payment before you even go into finance. So you don't even know it, but when you go into finance, that's actually in a lot of cases already put into your payment. So my impression on that is this: if you're going to keep that car for an awfully long time and you really think you're going to get to the point where you get to the cars, a lot of times they're like 5 years 100, or 4 years 48 on a used car. Or it kind of depends on the car, it kind of depends on the situation. It can change again dealership to dealership. But in a lot of cases, one that a lot of people are common with is you can cover most cars for like 7 years 100,000 miles. Again, that's going to depend on A, the car you bought, 2, the miles that are on the car, and D, your financial situation. A lot of people, when I'm talking to them, or when I was talking to them when I was in finance and I would talk to them about a warranty, their answer was, I can't afford it. And as soon as that person said that to me, my immediate answer was almost, you can't afford not to have it then. And again, guys, I was in service departments for a lot of time, and even on Hondas, which are like the most reliable cars on the planet, you guys know that, stuff does go bad, stuff does happen. Everything in these cars anymore is electronic, everything's expensive. Most of the stuff most common people can't do themselves, so they're at the mercy of a dealer when something like that happens. They go into a dealer, they find out it's $1,000 to fix something fairly simple, they lose their minds. You have a transmission or something go bad, then we're talking $3-4 grand. You have an engine go bad, then you're talking, another $3-4 grand. So if you think you can't afford to pay for the extended warranty, I think you can't afford not to have it, because you can budget for the $10, $15, $20 a month or whatever it might be, the $25 a month. You can budget for that and you can plan for that for the life of the loan. But if you can't plan for that $25 a month, you surely can't plan to pay $3 or $4 grand when your engine or transmission or something serious goes bad. So guys, I'm gonna try to keep this video under 10 minutes. I can see that I'm getting close. I hope this video was cool. I told you guys I'm a car guy. I've done everything in the auto industry, like almost everything. So I've got a lot of these kind of videos coming too. this one came up just by way of my friend calling today and asking about this stuff. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna grab the camera. I'm gonna make a video about this. So hope you guys found that information helpful. If I've missed anything, guys, in the comments down below, please let me know. If you guys like this video and like this kind of information, please let me know that too. I know this is just another boring one of me talking. Sorry, guys. A lot of those videos are gonna be that way, but hopefully there's some good information in there for you guys. I think that'll help a lot of people when they go to buy cars. We will talk about the whole buying process in another video in the future, so keep an eye out for that. Please, guys, like I said, in the comments, let me know what I missed. Thank you guys all so much. Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. I love you guys all very much. We just passed 3,000. If you guys haven't seen that video, thank you guys so much for getting me to 3. Hopefully we're charging forward and picking up steam. Jared, Red Racer Video. I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.